The Book of Deuteronomy, Chapter 3. Hear the word of the Lord. Defeat of King Og. Then we turned and went up the way to Bashan, and Og the king of Bashan came out against us, he and all his people, to battle at Edrei. But the Lord said to me, Do not fear him, for I have given him and all his people and his land into your hand. And you shall do to him as you did to Sihon, the king of the Amorites, who dwelt at Heshbon. So the Lord our God gave into our hand Og also, the king of Bashan, and all his people, and we smote him until no survivor was left to him. And we took all his cities. At that time there was not a city which we did not take from them, 60 cities. The whole region of Argob, the kingdom of Og in Bashan. All these were cities fortified with high walls, gates and bars, beside very many unwalled villages. And we utterly destroyed them, as we did to Sihon, the king of Heshbon, destroying every city, men, women, and children. But all the cattle and the spoil of the cities we took as our booty. So we took the land at that time out of the hand of the two kings of the Amorites, who were beyond the Jordan, from the valley of the Arnon to Mount Hermon. The Sidonians call Hermon Syrian, while the Amorites call it Sinir. All the cities of the tableland, and all Gilead, and all Bashan, as far as Saliach and Edrei, cities of the kingdom of Og in Bashan. For only Og the king of Bashan was left of the remnant of the Rephaim. Behold, his bedstead was a bedstead of iron. It is not in Rabbah of the Ammonites. 9 cubits was its length, and 4 cubits its breadth, according to the common cubit. When we took possession of this land at that time, I gave to Reubenites and the Gadites and territory beginning at Arover, which is on the edge of the valley of the Arnon, and half the hill country of Gilead with its cities. The rest of the Gilead and all Bashan, the kingdom of Og, that is, all the region of Argob. I gave to the half tribe of Manasseh the whole of that Bashan is called the land of Rephaim. Jair the Manassite took all the regions of Argob, that is Bashan, as far as the border of the Geshurites and the Maccathites, and called the villages after his own name, Havoth Jair, as it is to this day. To Machir I gave Gilead, and the Reubenites and the Gadites I gave the territory from Gilead as far as the valley of the Arnon, with the middle of the valley as a boundary, as far over as the river Jabbok. The boundary of the Amorites, the Arba also, with the Jordan as the boundary from Chinnereth as far as the seat of Araba, the salt sea, under the slopes of Pisgah on the east. And I commanded you at that time, saying, The Lord your God has given you this land to possess. All your men of valor shall pass over armed before your brethren, the people of Israel. But your wives, your little ones, and your cattle, I know that you have many cattle, shall remain in the cities which I have given you, until the Lord give rest to your brethren, as to you, and they also occupy the land which the Lord your God gives them beyond the Jordan. When you shall return every man to his possession which I have given you, and I commanded Joshua at that time, your eyes have seen all that the Lord your God has done to these two kings. So will the Lord do to all the kingdoms into which you are going over. You shall not fear them, for it is the Lord your God who fights for you. Moses views Canaan from Pisgah. And I besought the Lord at that time, saying, O Lord God, thou hast only begun to show thy servant thy greatness and thy mighty hand. For what God is there in heaven or on earth who can do such works and mighty acts as thine? Let me go over, I pray, and see the good land beyond the Jordan, that goodly hill country and Lebanon. But the Lord was angry with me on your account, and would not hearken to me. And the Lord said to me, Let it suffice you. Speak no more to me